What is up, everybody? It is December 15th, 10 days away from the big day. And you know what time of year that is, Grinch.
Yes, but I have a question for you.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I've watched all these episodes and I've noticed something.
All right, here we go. Buckle up. What did you notice?
Why, when you talk about whiskey, do you wave your hands around like you're trying to land an airplane?
What? I do that, don't I? I do.
Yes, many times you have almost slapped me in the face.
Well, that's what happens. I kind of talk with my hands. I mean, you're not the first person to notice that. Everybody tells me I wave my hands around like crazy.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm frightened for my life and my face.
Listen, man, I'm not going to hit you in the face with my hands. I'm sorry. I know I probably get close, but I'm not going to hit you in the face.
Whatever you say, Tiny Tim.
Well, whatever, man. If I squint my eyes, you look like Kermit the Frog.
What did you say?
You heard me, Grinch. Or should I say Kermit?
When I go back into storage, I'm going to haunt your dreams.
Speaking of haunting dreams.
Oh,
That's right, today we're going to talk about one of my other favorite films and another film that people have been bringing up in the comments, and that's A Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol has had about 20 different film adaptations. It seems like everyone has had a shot at making A Christmas Carol. Patrick Stewart, Tim Curry, Michael Caine, the Muppets, and even Mickey Mouse.
I swear you better not call me Kermit again.
Well, Kermit wasn't the first to bring the classic tale to cinema. The first ever Scrooge adaptation was called Marley's Ghost, and it was a short British film made back in 1901, which was only 6 minutes long. On top of that, Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol in just 6 weeks. Putting that into perspective, in just over 1,000 hours, he wrote something that is still being loved by audiences 175 years later. Now, it only took another 6 weeks after its initial publication to be adapted for the London stage. It ran for 40 nights before it headed off to New York. Even more impressive, within a year of the book being published, 8 rival productions of the play were already going on in London. Now, if someone asked you to pick any line from A Christmas Carol, chances are the phrase "bah humbug" would instantly spring to mind because it's probably Scrooge's main tagline. But in the original book, Scrooge only says "bah humbug" twice. I don't know, maybe it makes you think he wasn't as grumpy as he seemed to be. Like you. Right, Kermit?
I hate you.
Game, set, and match. December 15th, here we go. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C, and welcome back to the Mash and Drum here on day 15 of the Advent Calendar. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and help me keep climbing to 100,000 subscribers here in 2024 into 2025. So you guys know the deal. I have 25 blind samples from 25 patrons. I'm gonna nose it, taste it, try to break it down, try to guess what it is, and then name my price for it, or the price that I would pay based on what I'm tasting. Then we will open the envelope, find out what the whiskey actually is, and see what the real price is. So here we go. So today's sample comes from Ross Weinstein. Ross Weinstein, thank you so much for sending along this sample. And let's see what you sent. Here we go. Not really sure where to go with this one. This one's actually coming off like a little bit of a wheated bourbon. It's got a little bit of a weedy funk to it. It's floral. So, man, I smell floral. I think malts. I think rye. But it actually kind of smells like a bourbon. This one's tricky on the nose. Like I'm picking up like almost like a peppery basil note. So like basil that you cook with, you know, basil can have a little bit of a pepperiness to it. And I feel like I'm getting some of like these earthy, savory flavors in here. This one's really different. There is some oak here, but it comes off more like what's that note? I always forget what it is. Maybe it's like sandalwood, something along those lines. Yeah, this one's different. All right, let's give it a try. Let's see what this is. Oh, wow, that's delicious. That is not what I expected on the palate. I thought it was gonna be way more earthy than that. It's actually sweet. It's floral. It's a little malty too. Not as much spice as I thought I was gonna get off of the nose. That is good. I feel like we're dealing with a bourbon here. I am digging this. It's very rich, but yeah, that earthiness is still kind of there. Take another sip here. Wow, it's very sweet. This almost comes off like candy. I feel like this is like a high proof wheated bourbon maybe. Cause I'm picking up those savory notes, but it's kind of intertwined with like strawberry, like this really dark caramel note, some toffee in there. This thing is all over the place. This is really complex. So when I bring it up to my nose, I actually feel like I am getting more of a wheated bourbon profile. Man, it's not coming off like a typical bourbon. I don't think it's a rye. I think this is a wheated bourbon. A high proof, maybe high age wheated bourbon. But it's the like savory and floral components in this that are kind of throwing me off. But I do get usually a lot of floral components in wheater. So I think this is a wheated bourbon. All right, so as far as my guesses go, I still think this is a wheated bourbon. As far as proof goes, I think I'm gonna maybe say in like the mid 120s. You know, I was kind of thinking the lower 120s before, but the more I drink it, it's got a really nice heft to it and a big proof punch, especially in the back end. So I'm gonna say about 125, kind of keep in the middle. Age-wise, I normally hold back with the age, but I'm gonna kind of go up a tick here. I'm gonna say it's around 13, maybe even 14 years old. So I'll kind of stay in that range. It's got a really big richness to it. Is it finished? I don't think it's finished. And as far as like a guess of the brand, I have no clue. And as far as what I would pay for this, I really, really like this. If it is a wheated bourbon, I have to know exactly what this is because I think it's really, really good. So I will say, I don't know, I'd probably do like 175 to 200 for this one. I think it's that good. So let's find out what it is. Here we go. Oh, we have a photo. And I'm gonna show it to you guys first. I'm not gonna look. And what do we see here? Oh! This is not a wheated bourbon. This is the Exceptional Series from Rare Character, a Kentucky straight malt whiskey. This is not a wheated bourbon. Now, word on the street that this is actually sourced from Heaven Hill. And we did see this this mash bill highlighted in the Parker's Heritage release this year, the 14-year malt that was finished in cognac in the Parker's Heritage series from Heaven Hill this year. So this mash bill is from Heaven Hill apparently, and it's just kind of bottled at full cask strength. Now the details, I said about 125 proof in the middle. It's actually 135. I was off by 10 proof points but it did not drink 135. It drank definitely lower, which is why I kind of went down a little bit. As far as age goes, it says it was distilled in 2008, but bottled in 2024. So if you do the math, it's actually about 16 years old. So I was pretty close on age, which is pretty cool. Oh, real quick, this is not finished. It's not a finished whiskey. But as far as price goes, these are, I said about 175 to 200. And I think retail, that's what these are about. They're about 175 to 200 bucks. So Ross, dude, thank you so much for this one. You know, I gotta say, I was kind of hoping that someone would throw this in the mix this year, and I thought I'd be able to kind of pick it out, but couldn't get it. I thought it was a wheated bourbon, but nice work, Ross. Thanks so much for that sample. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed day number 15 here on the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room Advent Calendar Series. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit that like button. And if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram. Let me know down in the comments if you've gotten your hands on one of these Rare Character Exceptional Series, what you think about it, if you think they're worth the money. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers, and I'll see you tomorrow for another fun episode on the Mash and Drum. Take care, folks. Cheers. This is really good.